Salford at home as well. This is it. The playoffs are underway. Trapdoor football. I'm not too sure, Dave. It's very, very difficult to call. Robbie Mulhern straight in. Big shot from Singleton.
Well, I think we've got an idea of the physicality of what to expect here tonight, right from that very first hit. Nobody was in any doubts before the night. Hughes will take it on for Leigh. If you missed it, if you are joining us late, that's what we're expecting more of. And some intriguing team news. Kai O'Donnell missing out for Leigh tonight. Some talking about that left side of Leigh, and he's been very much a part of that, but missing through injury. Jack Hughes comes in. And also, intriguingly, Ryan Briley on the bench tonight with Chris Hankinson starting at full-back. Jenna, no doubt, will be doing some investigating to see what the thinking is behind that, but I'm sure we'll see Ryan Briley at some point throughout the evening against his former club. And at the end of the 6, Lachlan Lamb will kick downfield. And here comes the first return of the night by Hankinson, who's spinning to within 5 metres of that halfway line. That's a good start by Salford.
Yeah, it sure is, and just keep your eye on that battle there between Lachlan Lamb and Mark Sneed. Mark Sneed working incredibly hard to make sure Lamb was under all sorts of pressure, kicking that ball away. And Dion Cross now, he just gets the 45 metres away. What an atmosphere is here.
Go third.
Little dummy half, it's taken by Mellor, and some scything defensive work coming in.
Go for
straight away. This is Partington down the middle, looking to offload if he can, but too many bodies around them. Ramon and Mulhern and Asiata making sure there's no delivery from that position. The kick is high from Sneed. The chase was pretty good as well, but superbly taken at full-back by Moylan. Cool head.
Yeah, that's a brilliant take from Moylan. Eyes on the prize and a penalty given away here. It was a terrific kick, it really was, from Sneed. And the chase was good. The catch from Moylan. And then Salford, they give away the penalty. Just looking under the pressure there from Nick Arima. Relieving penalty here for Salford. As Lamb will just put boot to ball and purchase 15 metres further away from his own end.
Let's go.
So there's a bit of liberation acquired because of that penalty. But it's not going to be long-lived before the hard work has to kick in again. A Myler Hanley forward, but dragged back, and Halton now will take it forward as well. And Leigh just working their way, step by step, brick by brick, downfield. Taken on by Mulhern. Mulhern tries to drag his body through those oncoming defenders.
Go third.
Ipape back to a moan down the middle again.
Find us. Go play on.
Quickly played. Now it goes left. Moylan's joining in from full-back, creating some space, but the ball's sprung from Lutelli's hands. And it's dropped on, and it will be
too much ground from the knock-on.
A knock-on.
It's going to be a scrum.
And they go back to where the knock-on was occurring. So they get the head and feed here inside the Salford half.
Yeah, the catch and pass there. It was even Ryan who just has to bat that ball down.
Shot clock's running, lads.
Otherwise Charnley would have been away. Just going back to that set, a couple of little carries there from Mulhern and Tom Amon, Dave. Just getting in between players and allowing quick rooks there for Ipape. They move the ball, but they get 6 more here as they get the first crack inside of the home team's half.
Well, a real opportunity, and Salford are offside, so it goes a penalty to Leigh and 2 mistakes, and Leigh suddenly have certainly a kickable position. They'll be thinking about the 2 here, won't they?
What do you want to do?
You definitely think so. But a penalty, then an error, followed by another penalty.
Come on, Mark!
It's important for Salford that they get this part right. The last 45 seconds just puts them under all sorts of pressure as Halton gets his hands on the ball once again. He's in the mood tonight.
Well, as close as Leigh have been so far in the early stages of the game, barely 4.5 minutes played. But what an opportunity they find themselves with. Asiata gets it on to Mulhern. Mulhern now toppled down. The noise is just crashing down from the stands and the terraces as Leigh go battling forward again, and Salford working hard to keep them out. Amoni's up to play. Ipape throws it back. The short pass, the spin again. But a crunching meet and greet for Halton. Spins him to the ground. Ipape.
There's a big tackle from Tim Laffey on Frankie Halton. He's probably already had about 4 or 5 carries already. But that one leaves him second best. The big tackle from Laffey, and it had to be as well.
Well, concern in the first instance for Holton's welfare here, obviously. Just wonder if there's any concern in the Salford ranks about the contact, where it was made. It's hopefully one where we just get up and play it on. But there is some medical attention to be served here.
Holton's still being treated.
He's not going to do. If there is anything to be done here by the referee, he's not going to do anything until the medical staff have cleared the field. What do you reckon, Kyle?
No, I think it's play on. But we have a look here. It just ricochets. There's not a lot he can do about that. He spins out of Mark Sneed. I don't think there's anything really.
No, come on. And thankfully the referee's striding back to the defensive line and saying play on. Good. Good. We don't want any cards this early. We don't want any at all. Here comes Lamb, throwing it out. Moylan gets it on again. Lutelli trying to step in there, but Salford's defence recovers well. They're on the last play here, Lee. They're on the last play. Spun back again to O'Brien, who sticks it high in the air. It took a deflection. It bounces awkwardly down, and it's another penalty for Leigh.
No.
Well, he was under all sorts of enormous kick pressure.
Time's off. Timing-wise,
The penalty given away again, and Salford are their own worst enemy here. There's a bit of contact. I think it's from Watkins.
Callum Watkins.
And then Gil Dudson.
Clean it up, come on!
Gareth O'Brien just gets the boot away, and then there's a little bit after. So more pressure here.
It's another set of 6, another opportunity for Leigh in this next set of tackles. Asiata goes down with ball in hand. Ipape marching up again. Just to that left-hand side, it's played to Amo, who's within 5 metres of that Salford line. Ipape stands and waits again, lining up on the inside now. Asiata spins it off. O'Brien, Lamb steps away from the challenge, tries to get the pass out, hits a Salford body. Cross celebrating that hit because it's gone back to his side, and Salford have possession back again here.
Yeah, it was brilliant edge defence there from the left-hand side of Salford. And they answered every single player that the Leopards thrown at them, an onslaught they were under. When they come up, Leon Cross.
Penalty offside against Leigh, so Salford with a chance to clear their lines. I think everybody needs to settle down. It's started at a real rate here, hasn't it? Adrenaline is flowing on both sides.
Oh, yeah. And it's those players who can settle down the quickest, really, 6.5 minutes in. A couple of penalties already given away, Dave.
Sneed finding touch. Let's go down to Jenna. I think it's got news on that Salford team selection.
Yeah, evening, Woodsy. What a night. Playoff Rugby League is certainly here. More than 10,000 supporters in this stadium. The atmosphere is immense. But yeah, you would have noticed Ryan Riley on the bench with Chris Hankinson starting at fullback. Surprise for many, no doubt. I went to Paul Rowley pre-match, asked him why. He smiled and he said, you'll just have to wait and see. So therefore, it is a tactical change. We saw Paul, his masterstroke against Wigan last week. Could this be another one? I guess we'll find out.
Thanks, Jenna. Taken out of dummy half by Mellor, and Mellor goes scampering forward. He's been one of the unsung heroes of Salford this year, hasn't he? New signing at the start of the year. And boy, has he delivered, especially in the second half of the season. Sneed with a kick. It's chased out by McIntosh and defused, but within sight, within only a couple of steps of his own line. And Leigh have got some work to do here, and Salford are really putting pressure on.
Yeah, the kick from Sneed is exactly what you need in playoff football. Kick it into the corners. Look here, three carries gone and only 9 metres made.
This is real ramped-up defence. It's offloaded by Mulhern, but even then there are Salford players coming thick and fast and giving Leigh no place whatsoever. Frankie Holt's gone off for a HIA, by the way, and Hardaker's come onto the field, so that'll be a concern. But this is more concerning in the immediate here for Leigh, because they have knocked it on.
Huge
so
mistake.
Much turmoil trying to get it out there, and the ultimate turmoil at the end.
A huge mistake there from the Leopards. As Ipape, well, Tom Amon doesn't want to be having that ball on tackle 5, 20 metres away from his own end, and they get this one all wrong. And a huge opportunity now for the Red Devils.
Play your ball.
Well, this ground has never been fuller for a rugby league game. It has never been louder, full stop. It is a fantastic atmosphere in here at the moment, and both sets of fans are giving it their all, as are the players on the field at the moment. Mellor back to the middle, Partington, just a little stuttering there, just a little hesitancy. Speeded up by Watkins. Watkins plays eventually. MacDonald picks up eventually. Sneed now runs it on. Here comes Dodson. The Welsh international pushing forward again, but they're not making big dents on this Leigh defence just at the moment. Partington, back it comes. Nikarima with a pass away, but Stone felled. So Mellor, he's going to try and find a route himself in amongst all those bodies. He's that close, but it's another set of 6. Set restart here.
Yeah, Gareth O'Brien just can't get back and set.
Partington inside for Dodson, standing, stuttering start from his point of view. But they've 5 more plays to go, and Leigh are back on their own line at the moment. Mellor to Sneed. Sneed now goes full 180 and strongly tries to crawl his way over. Just held out. Mellor again, short pass, Dodson. They're not going to trick him that way. Leigh were ready and waiting. So here comes Mellor again. It's very, very slow. Spinning it back, Sneed looking left. Stone, there are so many Leigh defenders everywhere. Salford are looking at the moment. They've got one more play. It's with Sneed. Sneed's left foot sends it high in the air. It's knocked backwards and then knocked on, and the ball bounces dead as well. And it'll be a tap back on the 20. No, he's given Salford head and feet here.
I'm not quite sure about that one. I'll have to get another look. And the kick goes high. The contest between Latelli, yeah, it's off his left shoulder. Ricky Latelli's left shoulder there. And Salford will get another opportunity. The 3rd set now, Dave. And Rowley and his men get over.
These are tense moments on a stressful night for everybody with an emotional investment in either of these 2 sides. And even the neutrals will not be sitting comfortably. This now is Lafai. So it's another wave of attack that is launched against the seawall of that Leigh defence. Out of dummy a half, it's taken again. Mellor can't make the impression he was hoping. Lafai inside for Sneed. Back it comes, Partington offers it off. Just a barging effort again from the Cumbrian Singleton. 10 away. Leigh doing the work. And they're having to work so hard here. Nikarima, wider still. Step by MacDonald, but even his athleticism and size is repelled by some willing defenders. My goodness, this is taking some energy from both sides. Back it comes from Dodson. 1 play to go again. Dodson struggles free. Mellor throws it high and left. Sneed with a kick to the corner. The chase is on, but it's taken superbly by McIntosh. And he's then dragged out of play. And the referee says he was tackle completed. And so that's a penalty for Leigh.
Yeah, scruffy end to the set there. Mark Sneed with a beautiful kick. And Dion Cross with a hand on him. As soon as he takes this ball in the air, just keep your eye on the left hand of Cross. And the penalty's given away. Gil Dodson was desperate for a quick play of the ball. And the pass from 9 wasn't the best. But the Leopards survive. What a start to this game.
Well, it is ferocious, isn't it? It is utterly enthralling. One of those nights, you know, the nip of the autumn chill in the air, the tension of the evening. We very much are aware that the playoffs are here. But it's one of those nights when you don't have to be a fan of either of these 2 sides. You might not even be a fan of rugby league, but you should be compelled by what you're watching here because of the sheer drama, the sporting drama that will be unfolding as the night goes on. Ipape picks up, back on the inside again. And Amon on play 4 takes his side to within 5 of the halfway line. The kick from O'Brien is neat enough, and it stays in play, which makes it a real job for Hankinson, but he has done well.
He does well there to get across. On the sideline with his friend on that occasion, and Pape goes looking.
Well, he didn't quite connect, did he, Edwin Pape, but as we saw in the build-up, when he does, ouch.
Yeah, he had a few bell ringers last week against St Helens.
Sneed looking again to get those big fellas rolling forward, trying to chew up the meters from inside their own half. Partington, Hankinson. And this you'd expect to be a kick. Well, Sneed's gone behind the 40, so there's always a potential of a 40-20. But he's set that spiralling high. It bounces. It's being chased hard as well. And taken in the end by Charlie, but my goodness, they were riding their luck there, were Leigh.
Well, as soon as that boot left his... as soon as the ball left his boot, the spiral on it. He sits so deep, does Sneed. It's very difficult to get any kind of kick pressure on him. And it makes it incredibly difficult for the back three. On that occasion, it bounced. Robbie Mulhern, Partington now going looking.
Mulhern finds his way to within a stride or two of that halfway line. Ipape throwing it back towards the inside again. Here's O'Brien, and Lamb with a no-look pass. Hardacre not expecting to be in the middle of the action so soon here. Out of favour last week, but the injury to O'Donnell has had the knock-on effect of him playing. And then Moylan looking for something silky, but throws it out of play. It is a penalty.
Well, it's when Moylan goes almost around the back of Tim Laffey. Tim Laffey makes a play and takes out O'Mila Hanley. Just here at the top of the screen, Salford with another penalty. 4 now.
Well, we saw that in attack last week, didn't we? Moylan down the other side of the field, setting up a beautiful try for Lutellic. And Leigh now find themselves in a position to strike with 6 plays up their sleeve. Hardacre, first man in. Ipape, quickish played the ball as well. Mulhern was on the charge, but it's gone all the way to Lamb here. Lamb and Moylan trying to just trick his way through. Just about held on to. Back it comes to Lamb. Inside ball, Amon dragging his big body forward again. Ipape throwing it left. Moylan now. Oh, Salford's defence, pincer-like, coming across in numbers. Superbly efficient in stopping that. But there's more to come here. This is Asiata. Asiata, delicate boot, and what about that diving save? Is that Mark Sneed underneath that?
Sure was.
Yes, it is.
John Asiata just tries to thread a kick through the first line of defence, and Mark Sneed sits in the pocket of it. Sweeper-like. What a take that is.
That was brilliant, wasn't it? Absolutely brilliant.
It just shows that the head is exactly where it needs to be in the play. Anticipating that, seeing it happen. Joe Mellor now searches out a 9. Oh, good shot there, Pape. Forcing the mistake.
Has gone to ground, and Leigh congratulate themselves because they get the ball back here.
And this is the style of tackle that Sam Tompkins mentioned pre-game. Just the sheer ferocity, the impact there, just dislodging the ball from Mellor.
Logan Lewis is on the field, by the way. Gil Dudson has gone off for Salford. That's an interchange they've just made. Shot clock running, the referee just warning. Still 12 seconds of that to go before this needs to be fed.
No love lost there between Pape and Joe Mellor.
Well, welcome to main event viewers as well. You'll be happy to see this tonight, I tell you, because this is a play-off game with a road to Old Trafford at stake. Salford against Leigh, and the stakes could not be higher, and the intensity of the atmosphere is thrilling at the moment, and it's Leigh in possession at the moment. Ipape looking left, Lamb now. Again, they're searching those flanks, but Salford's defence is good enough. Here's Ipape, spinning it back, Asiata. O'Brien tries to pop one over the top, it's up in the air, and the ref says knocked on by Laffey, so when Leigh regain possession, they get another 6 tackles here.
Well, it's this right edge that seems to be the most threatening part in the opening 18 minutes. We're so used to the ball finding its way over the Charnley's wing, but it's the right edge who's had a couple of examinations.
Ipape again, just marching in. Asiata's to his left, but they go right to O'Brien. O'Brien puts it back. Oh, and it's taken and then dropped by Hanley. McIntosh dragged it out of play just to make sure no one's going to pick it up and race 80 metres. But Salford have it back again.
Well, right on cue, the right edge. And it's a Myla Hanley who just gets on the outside of Tim Laffey. I think Salford would have had it covered. It's a little bit of a chance.
Well, they're both making their mistakes here tonight. This is what's to come, by the way, on Sky Sports Plus, the NRL preliminary final between the Panthers and the Sharks tomorrow. And then a massive game tomorrow night, just like this, Warrington against St Helens. 5 o'clock on air, 5:30 kickoff. NRLW as well in the final series over the weekend. Just at the moment, our focus is very much on what is developing before our eyes here. As Lewis hammers it forward for Salford. Still scoreless. Midway through this first half. You talk to anybody before the game, whether they've got a foot in either camp or are completely neutral, and they will all tell you it is so hard to call this, and that is a Sneed kick that has put Leigh on the back foot, but at least they do have it back again.
Well, it just keeps the Leopards 85 metres away. Because Leigh is so threatening. If you invite them into that final third or that final 20-metre zone, so you do that at your own peril. 100 tries Leigh Leopards have scored this season. Mark Sneed, such an important role here tonight.
Charnley trying to bring it through. Well, you can see that Leigh love at this time of matches. They are the highest scorers, the most prolific scorers of tries between this and the 30th minute in games throughout the season. Nobody's touched them 16, so this is where they are dangerous.
Yeah, it's probably down to the physicality, particularly in the middle of the field. And you normally feel a game around about this mark, the long start burning. And perhaps they're the masters of exposing this. Asiata, well met there, good shot as well.
So last play, Ipape, back to Lamb. How's his left foot looking? Well, the ball is high. It's not on the spin, but my goodness, is it high. Hankinson positions himself well, dances away from a couple of defenders. Never really a threat of going a long distance, but my goodness, that's what he's started at full-back for tonight.
Yeah, he certainly has. His versatility has been huge for Paul Rowley. But it's his carries, for me, out of backfield that separates him and Ryan Briley. He's more direct, gets sets going.
Sneed across the line, looking for willing runners. Finds one in Lewis. 3 gone, 3 to go, and Salford are just beyond the halfway point. Heads up, eyes open for them at this point. They sense an opportunity, potentially. Singleton's put down. This is Mellor, sniping out a dummy half. There's a lucky bounce, there's a hand there which gives Salford another set of 6. A Leigh touch. And Callum Watkins, even though his side have got another set, is still taking a bit of a risk with the offload. But that's the way that Salford play. And Hankinson puts down 30 out. Mellor to that right-hand side. Straightforward effort from Watkins.
There's absolutely nothing between these two sides, as the scoreboard suggests. A chance here down the right edge.
Nikorima putting the skates on. A little skittering run of his. Another set of 6. Another set restart. Too slow, so Mellor looks to set a platform here. Running out and finding a position 5 metres out. Salford can attack from deep on this left-hand side. Sneed. This is Lewis. Lewis met by 3, who not only pick him up and stop him, but slow him down. Back on the goal line, they go! And it's knocked on by Lewis at the play the ball. And Leigh are given a survival ticket. Neither side so far able to take full advantage of where they found themselves.
It's a sloppy mistake there from Lewis. The play of the ball just deemed. Mind you, there's no real separation. Maybe they get away with that one.
Jenna Brooks, what are you telling us?
I can tell you bad news for the Leigh Leopards. Frankie Houghton, who went off after 8 minutes for a head injury assessment. I've just had confirmation that he has failed that head injury assessment. He is still, in fact, not out of the dressing room, so it doesn't look good.
Well, that is bad news. This was early on, as we saw the contact, but he was spinning into the contact with Lafay. So there was no further action against Salford, but it has left Leigh a man down in their 17. And remember, they're already missing an influential back rower in O'Donnell before the game started.
Yeah, the two starting back rowers, Dave, now, and that's a neat ball in behind the ruck there for Tom Amon to speed it up. He'll let Papi off again.
This is Mulhern. Mulhern galloping into a little bit of space, but they've only one play to go here, Leigh. So it's likely to be a kick, and is, with Lamb spinning it back towards the middle. That's a searching ball. Caught by Sneed. It's just a little lowering of the volume, isn't there? And then it lifts again as crosses messed with by Hardacre, and the penalty's given away by the Leigh player.
Just messing around too much there. Decent carry from Dion Cross. Just hanging in there too long. Hardacre just not clearing the ruck. Penalty given away.
Sneed finds touch. Salford regroup with their attacking intentions. And Leigh know they've got a job on their hands again here. Mellor picks up, comes left. Sandwiched back by Stone. Mellor wants this played as quickly as possible. Now it comes. Sneed. Here's Partington, capable, of course, of making things happen with the hands as much as the shoulder, isn't he? Ollie Partington. Mellor. Sneed pops it back. Stone back on the scissors. They're edging closer, but it is only edging at the moment. Couple of plays left in the set. Lewis smashes in. Hit hard, but pushes forward. And here's the last. Everyone in that Leigh defence is looking for this fella, because they know that what is coming is that kick. And it hangs up there, and it's not dealt with by Moylan, and it bobbles around, and Hankinson drops on the ball and claims a try. Well, we knew that Sneed's left foot would be involved somewhere tonight. He says no try on the field. But this is the first big decision to be made.
Coming across him first. Live calls no try on the try. If it is no try, we're coming back for the escort.
Let's hear from the video referee, Tom Grant.
Nene McDonald.
Okay, it's type of 5. We've got an on-field call of no try, so we'll check onside, offside from the kick first. So we've got players just to the right of the kicker that's offside, so we'll play this through and check for their involvement. So moves towards, is there a player in a genuine position to receive the ball? So the referees identify the escort on field. Okay, so there is a player waiting to receive the ball. They stay out the 10. We've then got an escort on field. So we'll log that, and we're now in towards the challenge. So something tighter on this. This will do us. So we've got an escort on field already. Now who does that come off? In the air. That appears to come off a lead hand. We can check something from behind if possible. This might tell us more. So jump, fair challenge. That actually comes off the hand of McDonald and goes forward in relation to the ground. I've got a decision.
Well, it ain't going to be a try by the sound of that, but I think Salford have got second prize here. They're going to get a penalty.
He's out about 6 metres out.
Video referee ready to deliver. No try. Salford fans temporarily disappointed, but they'll be lifted a little by what comes from the referee's mouth here.
And Mark Sneed will elect for the 2 there. You just see Lachlan Lamb. Just keep your eyes on Nene MacDonald. Actually, it's Gareth O'Brien, I beg your pardon. He knows exactly what he's doing there. He's denying Nene MacDonald a genuine contest for that ball. An obstruction from Mark Sneed. So reliable with the boot. 89% with it this season. And this is his 110th shot at goal. He's only missed 12. You would imagine that the first points of this playoff in 2024 will go in favour of Salford Red Devils.
Well, there's the O'Brien's giving it away, really, isn't it, by looking at the man that's coming his way.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
You can hold your ground, but you can't run into that line and then hold your ground, can you? So I don't think there'll be any arguments with that. So Mark Sneed, as Kyle says, his goal kicking has been prolific, the oddest of styles with that 90-degree approach, but it is successful with a near 90% success rate this year. This will be goal 98 if he puts it over, and he has. You'd never doubt it. And Salford are the first to claim points. They lead here by 2 points to 0.
27 minutes on the clock in the playoffs in 2024. And Mark Sneed gets the first score. 2-0.
He's edging closer to the all-time Super League point scorers list. He's edging up there as well. 8th at the moment, just behind Lee Breers. 18 points behind Lee Breers is Mark. So you wouldn't back against him achieving that this year.
No.
He'd need another game at least.
Yeah. Well, it takes him to 16 to equal Lee Breers.
So Salford have it back. And a little bit of a settler on the scoreboard. And Leigh looking for a response. Leigh will be heartened by the fact that they've had chances inside their opponent's half, haven't they?
Oh, without doubt. I think both sets of players will be fairly comfortable in this game. They've both had a number of sets down in their opposition's 20-metre zone, but just haven't came up with anything. And Nene MacDonald, got to be careful there.
Just a little glance, a guilty glance at the referee, didn't he, which might have counted against him, but Salford still keep possession. Sneed again, he's behind a 40, but it's just a kick for distance, and Moylan's read that superbly well. Backing into position, a couple of steps as well, and eventually dragged out by Nicarima, who came at speed. But Leigh again are forced to start from deep inside their own half.
They'll have to get used to that. Just Mark Sneed there, going early. Matt Moylan read it well, but it'll be Sneed that'll just be tasked with kicking that ball for distance and keeping the Leopards at bay. They're almost a different team in this part of the field.
A reminder that the losers tonight, that is season over. This is an eliminator after all in the playoffs. Winners will not know where they're going until after tomorrow night's result. Warrington against St Helens tomorrow. And if St Helens win that game, then the winners of this are off to Holkingston Rovers. And if Warrington win that game, then the winners of this are off to Wigan. It's a tough task whichever way, wherever the compass takes them. 30 minutes played, just the 2 points. Lapard. No shortage of thrills and spills there. Mellor collects and scampers and almost shakes off the attentions of O'Brien. Now it's backed up by MacDonald with the run. MacDonald pinned down. He came from that right centres to the left centres position. Seen that so much over the last year or two. Hankinson carries again. One play to go. Sneed's intentions are to put pressure on here. Up it goes. Brilliant take. Super take by Hannah.
Absolutely. Under enormous pressure as well. The Salford Red Devils doing nothing fancy in that set, but just carrying hard, staying in the same channel, targeting the right edge of the Leopards, and they rolled them all the way down the field. And Mulhern, well, that's his 14th carry so far.
Hats off to Darnell McIntosh, in fact, underneath that high ball. But again, Leigh tasked with trying to just break the door down of this Salford defence. From so deep, Paasi running out, hoping to catch them unawares, but they're ready again. And this is the last, so again they have to kick from very deep inside their own half. Lamb hoping against hope it could drift towards being a 40-20, but instead it's captured by Ryan, and Ryan brings it back, and Salford start 15 away from the halfway line.
Yeah, it's terrific what Salford are doing at the moment. Again, just putting the ball into the corner, but defensively aiming up and just making sure that Lachlan Lamb or Moylan are just kicking the ball deep inside their own half.
Miller looking right. Shane Wright is over there. Miller again. Bulk of his numbers are back on the inside. Partington, no look pass. I'm not sure why, but he did. And Lewis pushes on. Did you ever, I was going to say, do you ever throw a no-look pass, Kyle? Did you ever intentionally throw a no-look pass?
Me?
Partington onto Stowe.
No, I didn't have the skill for that, Dave.
5 away. Back to Sneyd again. It's relentless on the end of that left boot. Hoisted, bounces, offside, surely. Yep. It's going to be, well, accidental offside is given, so it's a handover rather than a penalty.
But the point is, they're making this into a lottery. Just look at the amount of numbers. And if they keep doing that, surely one of them will favour a bounce for Salford.
Paasi to Charlie. Charlie's rarely had the ball outside his own 30 metres in this opening stretch of the game. I say opening stretch, good heavens, we've only 7 minutes of the first half remaining. Paasi looking for the big fellas. A step by Asiata, off the ground, it's passed. That was important because it's given them a bit of extra room. But look at that, it is terrier-like. It's a controlled frenzy that Salford are playing with at the moment in defence.
It's an intensity in defence, Dave. That's what it is. Again, I mentioned heading the play. Tim Laffey knows that there's a chance there.
Oh, that looked like a knock-on from Paasi. Referee's giving him the benefit of the doubt. And Leigh are running it, even though it is the last play. Lutelli now will welly it downfield, but not as far as he would have hoped. And back it comes from Ryan, and back comes Salford again. The Red Devils are rampaging at the moment.
Yeah, you just get a sense the last 10 minutes has thoroughly belonged to Salford Red Devils. They're just playing in a bit more intensity, a bit more direct.
Miller's got time to have a look around because this is a slow play the ball. Controlled ruck from Leigh. Hankinson. Miller. Comes up again. One of those startling little runs he loves to go on.
Yeah, he's got out from 9 a couple of times. It just shows you the Red Devils are winning the ruck. And Paasi works well there, double effort.
So here comes the last. Back with Sneyd. You hardly need anybody to tell you that. This time it's drilled low. And, well, really carefully done by McIntosh. He's done really well again there.
He's been on point so far. He's dealt with high kicks, low kicks to the ground, and then has the smarts to get out of the in-goal area. But just look what Salford do here now, Dave.
Here comes the frenzy again in defence.
Look at this.
They're fighting for every yard. That is brilliant. That is astonishing. Unbelievable. 3 tackles in, and Leigh are dragged back behind their own line into their own in-goal area. Salford are winning this on points by a distance, and now they have a chance to deliver a potential knockout blow here with a dropout which will give them another attacking opportunity.
Well, this will be pleasing for Rowley. Just to get in the boot of Sneyd, and the intensity, the commitment and the desire to drag him back 10 metres or so and get 6 more here inside the final 5 minutes. The Salford are coming here. They really are.
The level of fitness required for this. And again, we point to last week when Paul Rowley gave this set of players a week off in that final league game. They're refreshed after a fortnight's holiday, and boy, are they showing it here tonight. Again, so far.
A big collision in centre field.
Miller's inside ball for Partington. Totters forward another yard or two. Lee's tank must be running towards empty with 4 minutes of the first half remaining. They are desperate for that hooter to sound and for them not to concede, but Stone steps back on the inside, testing the resolve of those Leopards defenders. They get there, they drag him down, but there's more to come. Mellor, he's having a look, but all he can see is a big shadow of Rod Mulhern looming over him.
Oh, it needed to go.
So here it comes again. This time it's Wright, who can see the line, but he can also feel the presence of 4 defenders. So they have to go back 10 metres and play it again. Played again by Wright. Sneed's kick. Charnley has to track it. Brilliantly done. Landed in the in-goal area, but the referee said jump from the field of play. So Leigh are forced to do it hard again. What is Salford's response going to be like again here?
Yeah, it's another exceptional kick from Sneed, but a great take, this time from Josh Charnley. And let's credit the Leopards' defence, they just keep turning them away. But they hit again with 3 red shirts.
This is epic at the moment. And if Leigh survive this, if they do get through this, how much do they take into the half-time dressing room talks, knowing that they have gone through this and not given up land?
They've been hit with every single combo.
40.
Lamb's looking for a 40-20. They're just happy to put Salford back inside their own half by a distance. And Hankinson, and it's the worst start to a set Salford have had for a long time.
Neat kick, long kick as well, than it needed to be. As Ethan Ryan just looks to try and find the defender and generate some kind of ruck speed. Hardaker does a good job there. Now cross. Here we go.
Mellor steps in quickly, sees an opportunity to get things rolling again. It's him that does the rolling. 2 plays to go. MacDonald coming left, shows Leigh the ball and then shows them the bumpers as he tries to crash through. This will be the last. Nikorima inside, Sneed. Up it goes. Moylan's underneath it and well, he's caught it and bounced down. He was behind the dead ball line when he took it, in the in-goal area, I should say, and that has given Leigh this massive relief at the end of this half, because they take the tap. It's a 7-tackle count, and they are going to get back in Salford territory here.
Yeah, well, if it's not McIntosh or Charnley, this time it's Moylan. Under pressure from Sneed off his own kick and races away. Catches the ball in the in-goal, a 7-tackle set. And just look where they are here now, Dave. Could the Leopards hit Salford with an almighty hammer blow inside the final 50-60 seconds?
There's Hardaker. What a sucker punch this would be if Leigh were to breach this Salford line, having soaked up so much intensity and so much pressure. And they're creeping into position. Ipape, left it goes, quickly on by Asiata. Now it's with Lamb, now it's Moylan into the hands of Lutelli. Salford's defence turn to scramble in alarm because Leigh are asking questions. Lamb puts the flat kick in, Hardaker takes it, offers it away again. O'Brien onto Hanley, Hanley with a step, Sneed's all over him, Hanley gets it away. Paasi now picks it up off the bounce. He tries to squeeze back in, they're keeping it alive thrillingly again. Here's Hardaker, Hardaker now, kicking a chase, but there's nobody really chasing him. Black, oh, it's a mix-up, but Hankinson drops on it in the end. Wow. What a finish this could have been to the first half.
I thought Hankinson took a tumble there, and he did. And it was Ethan Ryan, I'm not sure what on earth Chris Hankinson was thinking there.
I think he heard John Wilkins' analogy about the Karate Kid before the game, because he was trying some kind of karate kick to kick it clear. That has been astonishing, utterly astonishing. 40 minutes of defence from both sides at each end of the field, an intensity that is so hard to match. And guess what? We've got another 40 minutes to come, and it's separation only by a Sneed goal. It is Salford 2, Leigh 0 at half-time.
Credit where credit's due. Salford just managed that half much better than the Leigh Leopards.
This is going to be tough on the nerves, tough and tense in this second half, but when it comes to playoff rugby league, nothing comes easy. So this is going to be a next step on the potential journey to Old Trafford that is going to be hard to take for one of these two sides. Remember, eliminator game. Losers, that's it. Game over. So in some cases, career over. Certainly career at the club they're at over. But to the winners, the chance to move to within 80 minutes of a grand final. But with a big obstacle ahead next week, of course. Salford with a first touch of the ball in this second period. And a chance to just get themselves downfield as quickly as they possibly can. And they're keeping it alive here. And Leigh know already that their work is on. As the Red Devils find themselves 5 away from that halfway line. And they'll pick up and a push again. But not too much further. From McDonald's point of view. Trying to scramble to his feet. Mellor throws it left. This is the 6. Here comes Sneed's boot. And again, the spin on that is something to behold. It just spins perfectly in the air. Moylan catches safely enough, has created a bit of space for himself as well, but couldn't quite push through for the ultimate rewards. But Leigh starting from a little bit of an easier position than they might have been.
Yeah, terrific work there from the fullback Moylan. Just able to poke his nose half through, and it allows Josh Charnley to take a carry. It's McIntosh now, who's almost at the centre of the field, but they're still 25 metres away from their own end. Mulhern now carries into contact, and Salford answer that.
Well, things are settling down in the crowd as well. The noise deafening at times in that first half. They loved it. Everybody inside the ground was enjoying it. And it'll lift again as the intensity lifts as well. And with a kick from behind the 40, but just belting it right down the middle. Interesting to note as well, still Hankinson at full back. Remember that tactical decision from coach Paul Rowley to leave Briley on the bench. I wonder how long before we see him emerge.
Well, I'm not too sure we might even see him at all, if I'm honest. Hankinson's doing everything right so far, and the game hasn't really opened up where Briley's biggest threat is his support play, his ability to get on the end of things, and there hasn't really been too much joy for that at this moment, Dave.
Right inside the Leigh half, Mellor pushes away one, but then loses his footing. So has to take the tackle. This is Partington. One to go. Again it's Sneed. Again it's high, and between full-back and winger, and the bounce is helpful as well for the attacking team, and Moylan is stopped right there by the chasing Jayden Nikorima. And Leigh have to start. Did that look high?
It did from up here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Referee's been given a late call either from his touch judge or the video ref to say that was a high one, and Leigh get the penalty.
Well, Leigh needed that. They really did. Inside the opening 3 minutes. And Darnell McIntosh just goes in at dummy half and just carries into Nene MacDonald, and it's a little... There's no real force in that. And I'm sorry, it's not that kind of play that we want to see from the players lying down there. Yes, he's going to win his side a penalty, there's no doubt about that.
Well, there's nothing to add to the penalty, so again we stay at 13 apiece, which again is a relief. And Leigh 20 from the halfway line with a chance to advance for the first time properly in this second half.
Yeah, but again, it's the boot from Sneed. Another penalty, back-to-back penalties here. And I think it's Nene MacDonald involved again.
Well, penalty puts Leigh in a very good position in this next set.
Well, that one, just a little late footwork there from MacDonald, from Latelli rather. And a high shot there, and the ball comes loose.
It's a good touch finder as well by O'Brien, taking his side, 15 inside the Salford half. And Hughes with that initial carry to settle things down for his side, to give them a platform to work from. Ipape. Siata pumping it out now, back to O'Brien again, and a skip back towards the middle by Hanley, but again, maybe the studs aren't long enough. Footing's being lost a little in this second period. Hardacre takes it on, pushing forward. And tackles in the bag, plenty of them as well here for Leigh. Encouraging for their coach. Ipape out, went right, comes left, tries to spin it away, can't do so. Too much body movement in his way from those in red. Hardacre Asiata inside for Mulhern, who makes one of those runs which he's renowned for, half-breaking, getting it away as well. Here comes the last play. Lamb now with a couple of dummies, then throws Lutelli and Charnley. Charnley back on the inside. Moylan picks up a scraggy ball. Salford's defence scrambling around. The little kick, and Hankinson takes his time, but does his job in the end.
Well, the Leopards just keep it alive. Well, it's Ricky Lutelli's left boot, the chase from Charnley. It just does enough to spook the right edge of Salford, Hankinson and Ethan Ryan. And Hankinson just bats that ball away. But the left edge is coming. There's a warning shot there. For Leigh now, they have to try and keep down this end of the field. They've been starved of field position for pretty much most of the first half, and it's the first opportunity. And they're going to get one more here.
Long spells Leigh had to defend on their own line, and now they have an opportunity to turn the tables and ask questions of the Red Devils, because they get a repeat set to have a go at Salford's defence. Ipape. Asiata helps it on again. Trout showing a pass, not delivering it, and taking it in. Ipape again, running it back, and again they are threatening that line. Again taking it right in there. Asiata bounces up. Referee encouraging to get up as quickly as possible. Trout spinning. For a moment, looked as though he might be able to get the arm free for the offload, but wasn't able to. Ipape, O'Brien sees those to his right, all blocked by Salford defenders coming out. So he tries a solo effort, and they've only one to go. Hardacre. Right foot step, flicks it back. Ipape threads it between the eye of the needle, and again it takes some recovery work, this time from Cross, to defuse the threat, and it should be another Leigh attack coming here on the back of this dropout.
Well, Leigh just flipping this game on its head and doing exactly what Salford did for the last 15 minutes of that half, and it's just applying pressure through neat kicks. And it's Hardacre with a terrific offload for Ipape, who just rolls it through and just makes it into a competition. Dion Cross there, heading the game, bats it away. But the third set in a row now coming up for the Red Devils.
Sneed's boot looking to send this ball as far downfield and as close to the touchline as possible as well, but it's not an awkward bounce, so Lamb able to collect, and Mulhern will carry it back towards the middle, and Salford's intensity of defence looking to lift again. Asiata, and here's Trout, and Trout just on that angle, almost squeezing his way through, but Salford rediscovering their form in that moment. Ipape, Hardacre with a carry, taking it in. Ipape waits again, spinning it left. Asiata on the lead, back on the inside as well. O'Brien is nailed the moment he got the ball, so can't carry on. Ipape now, this is Lamb. Lamb, oh, he's passed and no one, and it's dropped on. Ryan drops on it, Salford get it back.
That's a huge win for the Red Devils. With the attack again from Leigh. It was clunky. You don't often see this, particularly down that left side.
Well, neither side so far able to take advantage of field position, but hats off to both defences for their intensity.
And in big games, Dave, you have to be able to ice your big opportunities. And that one, well, it's just a gift for Ethan Ryan to dive on the loose ball. And it's Salford now, moving forward. Singleton
on the carry, on the charge. Mellor knows the next is the last, so out it goes to Sneed, and Sneed just looking for the corner. Game management there, just puts it out of play. Gives Leigh the ball back, but in as uncomfortable a position as possible.
And just takes the sting out of the game. Just puts that ball 15 metres away from the visitors' goal line.
Calm down again, everybody. Half an hour to sort this one out, maybe longer. Golden point extra time might be employed as well tonight. Both sides will be relatively optimistic about that scenario, with Mark Sneed on the Salford side and Leigh having never lost a golden point extra time.
Substitution for Leigh Leopards.
50 minutes in and Robbie Mulhern takes a breather, and on comes Aaron Penny. Big direct ball carrying forward.
First touch for him. This is Paasi. Working hard. Lamb. O'Brien, quick hands from Moylan. And now Hanley will take it on, and at some pace as well. And Sneed watching him and shepherding him, and that is lost. But it's a penalty. Ball steal, 2 in the tackle. 1 pinged it clear, and Leigh get a penalty to give themselves a great position again here.
Well, it's Theon Cross who just makes a play for the ball here. Myler Hanley and Sneed, and just rips it there with Sneed with his hands on him. That's 2 in 1 in the tackle.
Well, they're taking their time here, Leigh, knowing that the ball is in their hands, quite literally, and knowing that they can, with a little bit of control, can build something special in this next few plays. Hardacre setting the platform with that carry.
Stand! Tackle while you surrender, go.
Paasi. Asiata across the line. This is Penny, one of the freshest pairs of legs on the field at the moment. Penny held up, wants to play it quickly. Moylan comes here on this left-hand side into a pocket of defenders. It's gone to ground. The referee says play on, and suddenly McDonald's got a chance to race downfield. Penny's after him. McDonald's looking for support. Ryan not quite within passable range, but Salford now are flooding forward, and the referee will take them all the way back and say it was in fact a knock-on by Salford, and Leigh should get it back.
Well, obviously Jack Smith, I think he's had a word in his ear there. Moylan goes to the line and just throws the ball, and you can see that it hits Nene McDonald's left hand and goes forward before it ends up hitting his boot. You just see the motion goes back there, and then his left foot, and the correct call.
Well, Nene McDonald did look round, didn't he? He kind of looked round at the referee to say, am I okay to play on? And at that moment, he was. But as you say, the touch judge intervening. He had clear vision if the referee didn't. You can understand from that angle why the ref maybe couldn't see it, but the touch judge was on hand. So we're back at this end of the field again.
And the assault continues here, Dev. There's the Leopards here. Just have more and more play of the balls inside their opposition 20. Their attack hasn't been where it needs to be, but it will click if you keep inviting them down this end of the field. There's no doubt about it. Tries for fun this season for the Leigh Leopards.
Well, there's a bit of a delay here, because in back play, Aaron Penny was being treated. He's got a big bandage around his head now, so the referee held things up to allow him to get back involved. He's okay. So here we go. Salford having to defend. Leigh with a chance on the point of attack to try and get the first points of the night. Lamb first man in. Paasi. 10 out, dances left. Penny was there. Paasi tried to do some magic on his own. Too many good defenders to stop that happening. Again, it's short. Again, the defence is honest and good. Paasi has to wait a while. Spun back to Moylan. Moylan now. Lutelli and Charlie for the corner. And Josh Charlie for the first try of the night. Leigh fans are going berserk. Leigh players are going berserk for all the pressure that they soaked up in the first half. It's they who have the lead with 12 minutes of the second half play.
Josh Charlie scores. Josh Charlie scores a try in the playoffs for season 2024. The first one. And it was coming. I mentioned you cannot give this Leigh outfit that much ball, that many chances before they nail it.
And he's now in second place as Super League's top try scorer in the history of Super League.
Well, there's the error from Nene McDonald. before Moylan gets it and has his moment. The outball there, Letelli does so well, and Josh Charnley scores his 4th try in the last 5 games. And nudges a try ahead of Danny Maguire. But crucially, sends maybe Leigh into week 2 of the playoffs.
Well, it's an early call, but in a low-scoring game, it's a crucial moment.
There's still plenty of time on the clock, but just look what it means to Adrian Lamb. And we haven't seen many opportunities. And you can see there,
248 tries now. And that will be up there as one of the most important, you'd think.
well, he had to wait. He had to wait a long, long time in the game. But as soon as he got that ball there, the wonderful outline from Letelli and Moylan.
Moylan's kick is missed. So it remains a 2 points difference, but it swings the way of Leigh on the back of that Charnley history-making try.
The line from Ricky Letelli to just get on that sweeping line and engage Ethan Ryan. And the pass there for Charnley in front of those Leigh faithful.
There's his time here on this stadium that has prevented him from being the all-time leading try scorer. A couple of years with Sale here, didn't he, at this ground?
Yeah.
I think if those had been spent in rugby league, he'd be clear off the field by a distance.
33-year-old, he's still got time, because he isn't slowing up, is he? A fine athlete and a prolific try scorer. The strike rate even 25% better for tries per game than that of Danny Maguire.
There's never any doubt, is there? You know, there are certain wingers you know are going to score given that situation, and he's one of them.
Yeah.
And he knows how important that is from his team's point of view, but he'll know at the back of his mind how important it is from his own point of view as well. 6 behind Ryan Hall. That chase goes into next year as well. They both have contracts. Charnley here, Hall at Leeds. So there'll be that's a story that'll continue to be told, but just at the moment, it's all about taking footsteps towards Old Trafford. And Leigh are just about noses in front, but still a long way to go. Ipape. Lamb back to O'Brien, and here's Hardacre. Scrambles up, Ipape goes running out, but loses his footing as he does so.
A number of players there slipping this evening.
It's the heavy carry forward again that has taken Leigh to within about 5 of that halfway line, but as Asiata picks himself up, he knows it's going to have to be a kick downfield from O'Brien, and Hankinson on his fingertips. On his fingertips.
He does well to regather that, does Hankinson. It's a decent kick from Gareth O'Brien.
Crosses joining in the front, trying to help his team downfield, but it's Leigh's turn to step up the intensity when the opposition have the ball. Lafay's gone ranging down that right-hand side and just pushes O'Brien out of the way, but there were more there to wrap him up. It's lost none of its physicality, this.
Well, a 2-point ball game. Everything's still on the line here.
Singleton thought about the pass. Rolls off the shoulder of Ipape. Not many do that. He usually connects. And this will be the last in the set. Slow. Very slow, so pressure immediately going to be applied to Sneed, but he gets it away before Penny can get close. Moylan again reads it well, drops it back inside for Charnley. Charnley trying to push his way through. This is the other side of his job, getting it downfield as quickly as possible. Reach and a grab by McIntosh, inside for Hanley. Little Papua New Guinean. Dunning half gets in there again. McIntosh, heavy carry from him. It's been a settled backline this last few weeks, hasn't it, for Leigh? All playing their part. Penne. O'Brien goes for the kick. Sneed knew it was coming, so applied a bit of pressure, so maybe not the end result that O'Brien would have wanted, but the chase is good, and Paasi and Moylan rounding up their man. Hankinson make no more than 5 yards before he's cut down mercilessly. Miller's across. Sneed slow to get back behind the play the ball, just reserving a little bit of energy. Lap by. Singleton, the latest and last Salford player to get behind the play the ball. And what is now tackled 3. Halfway through. Miller. Partington at speed and great offload, and Miller goes skipping through. Looking around, I would have heard Nikorima's shout, but couldn't find him. There was a moment of brilliance there with the hands from Partington and then Miller. But it leaves Salford still wanting, and on the last, the kick is from Nikorima. Moylan catches it infield, so has the hard labour of yards to make, and Salford up there to meet and match.
Inch perfect kick there from Jaden Nikorima. Matt Moylan was wanting the try line to be his friend. Josh Charnley does well there, buys another few more metres. And Dwyer now talk about speeding up the ruck, his ability to get out and cause havoc.
Well, that's the ace up their sleeve, isn't it? Pape's done big minutes, but when suddenly Dwyer comes on, they've got that spark, that unpredictability. So Dwyer with Paasi still there in the middle, still directing things, but in a different way. And sees the gap, and halfway through, he's got Hardacre for company. Hardacre's to his right-hand side. He goes wider still, and O'Brien will score. Oh, that's a brilliance. Leigh have sprung the trap in an absolute fabulous manner. They score one, they've now got a second. Is this incredible Leigh journey set to go another week?
Well, big moments in big games so often define the outcome, and it was a slip. It was a slip from a Salford Red Devil in the middle of the field, and there was nothing on at all for a Paasi. But as soon as Partington slips, Paasi races away, and you thought it was a catch and pass for Hardacre, but the ball over the top there, and O'Brien, he sends the Leigh Leopard fans into delirium. And what a run this is from the PNG international. Gareth O'Brien, on his 4th try of this season.
Well, it's just the subtlety of the switch of hooking rolls, isn't it? Pivot rolls. And, well, Salford fans will remember Gareth O'Brien keeping them in Super League not that long ago with his drop goal that sunk Hulkingston Rovers in that incredible Golden Point extra time match. But today he's come back to haunt them, and that could be a big moment in knocking them out of this year's playoffs. Moylan's taking no time, over it goes, and suddenly the lead is 10 points to 2 with an hour played.
Paasi just spots a gap, straightens up, and there's a slip, and you have to feel for Partington. And the Leopards just flood through. And O'Brien, you mentioned that drop goal in 2016, and 8 years on, they're 8 points away into the final quarter. Well, rolling into week 2, Dave.
When the chips are down, you bring on your trump card, potentially Ryan Briley out on the field. No point holding him back any longer. They're going to need some of his attacking brilliance if Salford are going to get back into this.
Well, we saw a neat offload there from Partington, but they weren't able to get off the back of it. And maybe, just maybe, that's why Briley's out there. This Salford side, the scoreboard pressure is growing on them.
Nikorima,
and that's silly,
catching up with Dwyer, but catching him high and giving Leigh another penalty.
Well, that's not what was needed. Dwyer just scampering across the field, crabbing sideways. And it's around the head, and there's no arguing with it. And it just invites the Leopards down into Salford's territory once more.
This is what's coming up. You'll enjoy tonight. You're enjoying tonight, but legacy with Kenny Logan, the Kenny Logan Challenge tomorrow, 10:15. The preliminary final, Panthers against the Sharks, 10:50 a.m. And another one of these tomorrow evening, Warrington against St Helens. That's going to be epic as well, 5 o'clock. NRLW over the weekend as well. But that is a mistake that has just given Salford a bit of a leg up.
Jack Hughes, an ever-present this season, just loses the ball, and perhaps there's a little bit of a pull there from Nene MacDonald, but sometimes they go your way. On that occasion, Jack Hughes may feel he's hard done to. Adrian Lamb certainly agrees. But it matters not.
So Salford's ball for the next 6 plays. How do they respond to the double punch they have just suffered? 2 tries in 6 minutes, turning this game right around. Leigh in the driving seat. Salford somehow need to get back control of the vehicle. Miller behind Singleton. Nicarima drops it in again. Here's MacDonald. MacDonald with that urgency. And he's pointing something out to his assistant, Kurt Haggerty. This is Partington, another no-look pass, but he should have looked because it went forward, and the referee was looking. And that is a very clumsy mistake they've made.
A shake of the head from Partington, but you see as soon as the ball released from his hand, it's a good yard and a half forward. And Jack Hughes comes up with the mistake on play 2 in the set before, and then Partington follows up with that.
16 minutes and 40 seconds to go. You still sense this is going to go to the 80th minute before either side can settle and relax.
It's an absolute must that Salford score next.
Oh, that's poor. That's poor from Dwyer. Doesn't connect. Luckily for him, it went backwards and he's able to regather. But they've lost a play and they've lost some yards. Hardacre now seeking to find lost ground. Dwyer back in position. Looking for something a little neater this time. Penne puts that ball under his shoulder and charges it forward. Tries to break the resolve of those Salford defenders. Skip and a jump. Ramon plays. Moylan kicks. Briley watches carefully and has to be careful because Charlie's all over him and he slides back into his own in-goal area. Sliding tackle, the referee confirms. Salford having to drop from underneath the sticks again.
Josh Charlie hasn't moved.
There's no shot clock on this,
It was a terrific chase.
Charlie's hurt here, isn't he?
Substitution for Salford Red Devils coming off number 13.
The kick was a good one from Moylan, and the chase from Charlie was exceptional. And Briley just gets on the loose ball and slides over his own in-goal line to force a goal line dropout. It's Josh Charlie who needs attention at the moment.
Concerned look from the opposition bench as well. Paul Rowley at this injury at the moment. Careful as ever, the medical staff, no risks taken, and they're immediately on the field, aren't they? They boss this situation, don't they? Charlie getting the treatment here, but he's the man who put his side on the road here. 2-0 down until the 52nd minute. And then suddenly this happens. Charlie on the end of the handling movement on that left-hand side for Leigh, strikes again.
It was a terrific score. And then this was the hammer blow for the Red Devils. It just opens open, a Papi just bursts through a hole. And that piece of skill on the end is brave. The cutout ball. Gareth O'Brien just slides over. The kick's converted, and that leads us to this 8-point ball game that we're in. And 15 minutes left to play. There's still a huge opportunity here for Salford Red Devils.
Well, they're going to take their time here, aren't they? And this is not a great sight either. The stretcher being brought on. And on the back of this, Salford know that they've got some big defending to do here, because once this injury is sorted, Salford having to drop from underneath their own sticks, and Leigh will come at them again.
And Josh Charnley, of course, we hope he's okay. 18 tries this season, with that one included tonight. A 3-time grand final winner with the Wigan Warriors. And of course, we mentioned there 248 tries to his name, an absolute winner, a warrior of our game in Josh Charnley, terrific try scorer, and let's just hope that he's okay.
3 times grand final winner, of course, was Josh at Wigan, 2010, 13 and 16. Super League's top try scorer twice, 31 and 33 to his name in 2012 and 2013. So they know his value, and his pedigree proven forever now, with the fact that he will finish his career at the very least as the 2nd highest Super League top try scorer of all time. How does Salford turn this around?
Well, they've completely been a different side than what they were in the first half. You know, Mark Sneed's put a couple of neat kicks in, but they haven't been what they were of the same quality. You know, Matt Moylan's dealt with every single high kick that came his way, but there hasn't been any variety. Given where Mark Sneed's been kicking the ball, they just need to spend some time down in Leigh's 20-metre zone, because I don't recall them having a play of the ball really in the second half down that end of the field. And how different was that compared to the first half, when they're attacking? You know, the guys at pitch side mentioned about their attack not being clunky, and hence the scoreboard only being 2-0. But they really do need to start to camp down that end of the field, because time is ticking, and as each and every second goes by, Dave, their Super League season looks like it's going to be over.
Well, they have some brilliance in their ranks, don't they? There's some lightning strikes, potential lightning strikes in there.
Oh, there is. You know, Ryan Briley being introduced as well. You know, if Nene MacDonald and Tim Laffey can double up in their carry, speed it up through the middle of the field, and then provide an offload for Briley to get on the end of, you would imagine that if there's going to be points anywhere, it's going to come from Nene MacDonald, Tim Laffey, Ryan Briley, or Mark Sneed.
Well, obviously taking an abundance of care here at the Salford Community Stadium. The stricken Josh Charnley lifted onto the stretcher here. Sam Tompkins, John Wilkin. Our thoughts obviously first and foremost with the player, Josh. Very, very popular Super League player. And you can see the worry in the eyes and in the faces of the Salford and the Leigh players surrounding him.
Yeah, it's something that we don't want to see. It's inevitable in our sport that you're going to get injured at times, and Josh is one of the toughest. I've played with Josh for a long, long time, so the fact that Josh has stayed down and needs this much care makes you think it's something that needs to be looked after. Yeah, and hopefully he comes back from it.
A heavy collision there, and force going through vulnerable parts of the body. Paul Rowley, deep in thought. Adrian Lamb, of course, will have first and foremost in his thoughts Josh Charnley, and making sure that he gets all the attention that is needed now, John.
Yeah, it was just an awkward fall. Josh really committed to the challenge. He chased hard. You know, he competes hard on almost every play within the game. He did the self-same thing there. Just rolled over. Just an awkward fall for him. Hopefully that's precautionary. But yeah, he gets a rousing reception or the fans really getting behind him as he leaves the field. Sad to see, Brian, you know, sad to see, but all our thoughts are with him.
It is, and it's tough to see. As a teammate or as an opposition player, Sam, it is an uncomfortable thing to see on a rugby league field.
Yeah, it's something that you know is in the back of everybody's minds. The sport we play, it's a full contact sport, full-blooded, and Josh competes, like John said, as hard as anyone.
But they do have to get back to the match at hand. As I say, our thoughts are with Josh Charnley, being taken care of here at the Salford Community Stadium. Let's get back to Kyle Moore and to Dave Woods.
Thank you, Brian. 15 minutes of the match remaining. At the moment, Leigh in control. But Salford can spring a surprise or two. We know the talent they've got in their sides, but Leigh are searching here for what might be a match-winning moment. They are certainly playing with verve and confidence as Penne smashes it forward. Dwyer steps over the bodies on the ground to get that pass away. A moan. But there's one play to go. Dwyer goes right. It's Willie Pape, who shows the dummy and sees the line and scores a potentially match-winning try.
Player of the match performance from Edwin Pape last week, and it was mainly through his defence. But tonight, with ball in hand, Edwin Pape has absolutely just thrown a dagger through the heart of the Salford Red Devils. They had the numbers, but Pape just pumps the ball, gets underneath a challenge, and has the presence of mind just to promote the ball and dot it over the line. A huge score in the race for Old Trafford. Hankinson just can't deal with the strength. And Lafayette, well, he has to take the bait. The cover from Sneed and Hankinson just can't cope with the power of Pape. And Adrian Lamb knows. Well, with 14 minutes left on the clock, and his Leigh Leopards have still got more in them.
2 moments of fabulousness from that fella. And Leigh now a giant stride towards being 1 game away. A place they've never been before. 1 game away from a grand final. Can Salford respond in the 13 minutes that remain? Moylan. They kick this. 14 turns to 16 if he puts this over, and a 2-score lead turns to 3 if he puts it over, but he hasn't put it over, so it remains at 14 points to 2, and 2 tries and 2 goals keep Salford interested.
Yeah, the door is slightly ajar in this contest for a way back in for the Red Devils. Well, time is really starting to run out. Sneed goes short.
Well, the one thing that will be concerning is a penalty for Leigh. Penalty for Leigh and a celebration from those Leigh players. I was going to say the one thing that Leigh will be concerned about is that they only have 15 fit players at the moment, so that rolling of interchanges is hampered. Where, of course, Frankie Holton lost through an HIA in the first half, and Charnley having been stretchered off just a few moments ago, but such is the adrenaline, you suspect they aren't going to be too worried about that.
No, but it just goes to show the luxury that the Leigh Leopards have, having Zach Hardacre coming into the fold. He's done a terrific job in back row in the absence of Frankie Holton early on, but now he's switched out to the wing there to cover Josh Charnley. Zach, of course, a 3-time grand final winner himself with the Leeds Rhinos. But just a word on Leigh, you know, you mentioned there that they've never been, if they can see this next 12 minutes out. You think about Adrian Lamb and the side that brought up from the Championship. No one gave him a hope. They win the Challenge Cup final, and then they bow out in the playoffs, and now they go 1 step further. There's improvement here for Derek Beaumont's Leigh Leopards.
Lutelli stopped. Dwyer picks up dancing steps from him. Looking. Sometimes you wonder if he knows where he's going from dummy half. Trust his luck. One play.
That's clear, that's clear.
O'Brien puts it high. Oh, and Ryanson really well. Got up there, hampered considerably, but somehow got up there and took it.
Almost has to climb over the shoulders of Hardacre to get it. He does well.
Salford not quite in miracle-needed territory, but they're encroaching on that. 95 away from where they want to be. 2 tries away from where they need to be, and struggling to get themselves downfield again.
Well, we've yet to see them move the ball from deep inside their own half, that we're so accustomed to. Dion Cross gets his side a quick play of the ball. Mellor takes off now.
This is the 6, it's a chip and a chase. It's being chased, but there's a block on his path, so it's a penalty here for Salford. And while that untangles, there's the chip, there's the block. O'Brien and Ipape.
Yeah.
Let's quickly hear from Jenna, who I think might have some news on Josh Charnley. Jenna.
Yeah, Dave, I can tell you that every available medical staff was on deck there for that injury. I spoke to the Salford doctor, who was also helping, and the Salford doctor told me that it's a neck injury. Every precaution is being taken. We saw him stretchered from the pitch. His family are with him now. We
keep our fingers crossed. We hope for the best, and the best medical attention down there. But here comes Salford. Mellor puts it back. Nicarima. Is there a cavalry charge to be launched here by the side in red? They've got time left. It's drifting slowly away, but it's not an impossibility. Shorrocks can't go any further.
They have to score this set.
Mellor. Dummies, looks no way through. It's a wall of black shirt players. So there's a waste of one. Shorrocks now. It's Sneed who pokes it into the in-goal area. It's been spilled by Moylan, and it's a penalty for Salford. Well, this is frantic now.
Well, again, it was the kicker, Sneed, and Moylan. He doesn't come up with it, but there's enough Leigh Leopards shirts around there just to get on it. I think it's a Myla Hanley underneath the human rubble who collects it and gives away the penalty.
It's tap and go from Salford's point of view. They cannot waste any time now. 5 out. Are they about to rescue this situation? Singleton goes charging in, trying to batter down that big door. The hinges hold, and Mellor waits. And here's Sneed, and Sneed back to Nicarima. Nicarima almost dancing through. Everybody holding their breath, and at the same time somehow bellowing out this huge noise. Mellor again. Shorrocks. They're trying to catch them for numbers on this left-hand side, but it ain't going past Lafay. 3 Leigh defenders wrapping him up. Hankinson spinning back. Mellor has a think. Now it's with Nicarima. They're running into cul-de-sacs just at the moment. They've found another, and they've only 1 play to go. Mellor, plenty to his left. That's where he goes. Sneed leads the thinking, puts one over the top. It got a hand on that. There was a hand on that by Hanley, so Salford will get it back again for another set of 6.
Oh, Brad Dwyer will breathe the biggest sigh of relief. He shoots the line, comes out of system. Sneed skips over, and the fingertips of Myla Hanley possibly deny Salford a score back in this game.
It's now or never for Salford. Leigh, having established that lead, are hanging on again on their own line. MacDonald bounces off the shoulder of Ipape, bounces off. Another set of 6. Mellor runs into trouble, head first into those big welcoming arms of Amon. So Shorrocks takes over the dummy half duties, and the referee says Leigh are offside.
Well, they're going to have to be careful here, Dave, because they're trying to see this game out and just frustrate Salford. They did it in the first half, but through penalties, they're treading the ice very, very thinly.
And Salford are sensing A potential breakthrough here. Lewis plays it. Mellor. Shorrocks now. On to Briley. Briley out. The shape looks good here. And Nicarima almost rips through. Leigh's defence is desperate, but is successful. Slowed again. Well, there's players on the floor. Moylan's not cleared the rock. Oh, and then the ball is played. Almost one back. Referee's not happy with that. We go back to the play the ball. Now it's Mellor. Mellor flings it back. Shorrocks on its way. Lewis tries to bustle his way through. Again, 3 Leigh defenders getting across there desperately. Mellor hauls it back to Sneyd. Sneyd now. Big pass out to MacDonald. MacDonald stepping back into the middle, but finding only bruising Leigh shoulders. And no path through. They try again with 2 to go. Mellor shooting off. Pops it back. Shorrocks. Well, they're just dancing around. He's got an offload away. Singleton picks it up. Singleton thought he could get through. The ball went forward. Leigh survived. And is that the moment when the dream expires for Salford? That was a big, big set after set after set, but Leigh have held out.
Well, Joe Shorrocks, he goes for broke, and the ball's thrown forward, and it just bursts the bubble on Salford's season, does that?
Well, he's not the most emotional of coaches, isn't Paul Rowley, but you can detect disappointment in his eyes at the moment. It's a game that's slipping away as time slips away. And he knows he's on the verge of something special. Hardacre. There ain't going to be nothing fancy in this set from Leigh. One man carries.
It's another slip.
Salford need it back. They need to score twice. And there's only... Oh, they've got it back! They've got it back!
They pinched it. Moylan's had his pocket pinched.
Nicarima. So hope's still alive. Chances still survive. Ryan. Ipape hits him hard with the shoulder. I think Ryan felt that, but he bravely gets on. Now it comes left. Sneyd. Hankinson trying to push his way through. Finding no give. Mellor again. Sneyd again. Shorrocks. They're going through hands. Nicarima with a chip of the chase. Was he hampered on his way through? Yes, he was. It's another penalty. And I think there's a sin binning coming here. There is.
Yeah. Too many penalties. Consistently know exactly what they're doing.
Jack Hughes, yellow carded. You could maybe argue he's taken one for the team there.
Well, perhaps so. Because that could have been the smartest play that Leigh could have done. If they go on to win this game, it's Nicarima on a play-3 kick. I was thinking, what are you doing?
Record crowd in here tonight. Nobody can take their eyes off this contest. And there is still a script to be written. Mellor. Heart beating, spins it out. Sneyd sends it back, but he's hunted down, is Briley. Leigh running on empty, but finding fuel from somewhere. Heroically in defence. Sneyd's kick, and it's batted back for Lafay. But even that outlandish, unusual play doesn't catch Leigh Cole. Now it's into the goal area. It hits the post, but it's Leigh, I think, who have dropped on it. Yes, they have. No, Salford's ball. Salford's ball. And another set of 6. The clock is stopped with 2 minutes and 42 seconds to go. Now it starts again. Sneyd puts the kick in. It bounces into the hands of Ethan Ryan. And Salford still do have hope. Referee stops the clock to go for the video referee. You've got to check these on a night like tonight. In an important match like this, you have to check these. Goal. And it's in Salford's favour because the clock has been stopped while it's being checked. Let's hear from the video referee.
Okay, 0 tackle. We've got a try on field. We're checking onside, offside, and then into grounding. So everybody to the right of the kicker is onside. We can play this through, and then just in towards the grounding, please, so something from the corner. This will do. In possession and falling. Thank you, I've seen all I need.
Well, wait for the response to this, because Salford fans will know it's not much of a chance, but it is a chance that they've given themselves. It started with the Ethan Ryan try. It has to continue with a Mark Sneed goal. He has to kick this. He has to kick this. Otherwise, it's all but game over.
Huge kick. And Mark Sneed, a man who has ice running through his veins and lives in these moments. And this is a huge, huge kick. If he gets it, we go the distance.
If you wanted a cool fella anywhere in Super League to take a kick of this importance, this is the man, and he strikes it wide. Oh. Of all the kicks to miss, Mark Sneed puts it wide. 2 minutes left to play, and Salford are left still having to score twice, and I don't think that's possible.
No, I don't think it is. Mark Sneed just pushes the ball to the right-hand side of the post as we look at it there. And look at the reaction from Adrian Lamb.
Well, heartbreak for Mark Sneed when Ethan Ryan had given them such a lift.
Well, it came about through that sin bin. That's Leigh Leopards' 19th yellow card this season, Dave. And Jack Hughes' 4th. Sam Tompkins mentioned there would be a card he felt this evening, and he was right.
Hardacre restarts. Leigh, no, 6 tackles take them into the next round of these pulsating playoffs that have started at such a pace tonight. My goodness, we've got thrills over this next 3 weeks. Maybe the purists left scratching their heads at times. Sneed's going for a 20-40 here, but he never had the angle. And Hardacre, back at full-back, has a look round at the scoreboard to see how long's to go.
And this is it for Leigh. You just need to take all the time in the world here. And Zach Hardacre looks to do that. There'll be nothing fancy, Dave, in this set at all. Ball security, into contact. And just taking the time to play this ball, eat down the clock. As we head into the final minute now.
Into the last minute, it's beyond miracles. Leigh, no, they've got the job done. They're still in it. They still have dreams of the ultimate prize. And given where they were just, what, 9-10 weeks ago, the impossible that became the implausible, that then became improbable. Now, well, you never know. You never know. Slow to his feet, 20 seconds to go. Moylan finds touch. The appetite to restart the game has surely gone, although Salford are hurrying here. Singleton will play the ball, but he'll hear the countdown ringing in his ears. The countdown that will end Salford's season. What a year they've had, but it starts and stops with the first playoff game, and Adrian Lamb. Wow, is he thrilled. They were drifting just a few weeks ago, but they've reset the compass for Old Trafford. And now they're only 80 minutes potentially from a grand final. Leigh Leopards keep on surprising. Salford now, it's back to the drawing board for next season, but it's a night for the Leigh Leopards. They are through to the next round of the playoffs. They've won here tonight by 14 points to 6.